So we're officially about 2 weeks out flatly from what should be the part 2 LR of this Golden Week celebration. And how do you feel? Did you pull on Hit? Did you pull on Goku? I imagine most of you pulled on Hit, but if you pulled on Goku, how is he running for you? I've been seeing a lot of people say they pulled on Goku. They didn't believe the lack of hype. They didn't believe the disparaging comments that he's been getting. But then later on when they did pull, they used him. He's just been getting them killed in events. The Twitter engagement, the farming has been out of control. People saying he's the best ever. People saying he's runnable. People saying he's great. And then, you know, just shortly getting flattened by the reality that a lot of his most impressive feats are on essentially impossible setups right now. There's just no content to run him. But yeah, how is he rocking for you? We're going to talk about what this LR could be, why it would be this, or if they would even consider doing like this or that. But first and foremost, if you're wondering like, hey, how is the slot here? Like what is the slot like for the 15th or the 14th or whenever they decide to do it? And it's pretty good. Last year it was the AGL Gohan with Gotenks, and the year before that it was Bulma, who is arguably the best character in the game. You could definitely argue that. Just a character that was on a bunch of the most powerful teams in the game, specifically things like Power of Wishes and Earthbird Fighters. Earthbird Fighters getting buffed in Golden Week, obviously being one of the strongest teams in the game. Every character who is strong historically in Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle being on this category, and Power of Wishes being the theme of the year. So an incredible character. AGL Gohan was a little more restricted, right? A little more restricted. He could only really be run with his gang. He wanted to be around a Gotenks, who later did get an LR, which was cool. But before that, he was mostly just relying on a super EZA. We're going to look at the EZA swath here. Maybe there's an EZA that could tell us a little something more. And also, we're going to be trying to find out what the Tanabata and what worldwide will look like, because I think those are two interesting questions to ask ourselves as we're wondering, hey, if I'm a new player, if I'm a returning player, if I'm low spending, if I'm free to play, what do I do with my currency here? I've got about 1900 because I've just gotten insanely lucky throughout this year. Like I haven't needed to spend like any amount of my stones this year, it's felt like, and we've gotten a bunch of stones. So, you know, how are you doing? What's your stone count at? Are you being good? You didn't pull too much on Goku because he's not worth it, but all right. Okay, so we are currently here. We haven't gotten anything really outside of our two characters, our banner unit. We technically got a super easy. I guess I shouldn't say that we've got nothing, but it really has felt like nothing, huh? Because I don't know, the characters being sort of lackluster outside of Hit. The characters being a little lackluster makes it feel like we really haven't gotten anything, but that's not even true. So yeah, we've gotten an EZA. This is another EZA. This is the Battlefield EZA, right? So that was last year. This year, we have now gotten the Goku, Hit, and then the banner units. And outside of that, we're still waiting on what the next phase of content was. So let's just really quickly check what's coming the next week, right? So last time, we've got on the 2nd, so in about a day, but I guess, again, maybe this won't be the case because we obviously got the Super EZA, but we could also argue that Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku Super EZA counts as the May 1st content. So we could be looking at another Extreme Z Awakening, and I forgot to pull it up. 1 second, sorry. As always, sorry about that pause. All credit to Misaka K1 for the information here, but we have the suite of characters who could EZA, and I'm looking at them thinking about like what is coming in this spot. We are, of course, on Thursday as of me recording this video, so certainly we could be getting a data download for the next week. There is usually one a week, right? And so we don't know where this spot is going to be. The thing about this spot is Tech Khalifla, who I will probably be stoning if she ends up being pretty good, is waiting in the wings to fill out the slot. We could see something like this Universal Survival Saga Frieza, which I guess we can just let's go find him, right? So let's go find him. I predicted that this character was going to be EZAing or even getting a new card much earlier than this. It has actually surprised me that we have not seen that Frieza yet, because to me it seems so obvious, and I think it's this one. It is this one. This character has the potential to be very good. The issue that he has is that while he is a stacker, so he'll be, duh, you know what I'm gonna say. You don't need to hear me say it, but he's a stacker. He's not a big boss's character, but what he does have is a transformation with a massively raise. So while he's a little funky for the use of like festival battles, what they could do is just add attack to his stacking and base, and then he's essentially like a little shaky defensively with like his weird conditional defense damage reduction, but he's not impossible to run. That said, he is a character that's going to need a lot to get over the hill. I assume he'll get like a bunch of additionals, he'll get a bunch of maybe more dodge chance, maybe a little bit of like maybe floating guard or something like that, conditional guard, but otherwise he's just a character we need to not see say something like oh, he just is only evading. If he comes around and he says I'm only evading, it's going to be a little tough. But yes, that is an EZA that we could be seeing in this next data download. Next, obviously, and I think this one is the big hammer of justice here, is we have the Kale and Caulifla, who have yet to EZA. This character is set up very nicely to assist hit in a universal or a universe 6 rep team, especially if we're just talking about festival of battles where hit is dominant in. Unfortunately, I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know about y'all. I don't really watch the festival of battles videos that people put out because it's just kind of not interesting. But whenever I see Truth upload one, I've made it a habit to start opening them and just going to the end to see if he uses Vegito and wins or doesn't use Vegito and loses. And Hit has become another victim of doesn't use Vegito and loses. So as it goes, right? As it goes. Hey, but people are going to tell you that the game is not completely balanced by Vegito. There's so many characters. There's so many characters for festival battles, you guys. Trust me, please trust me. But yeah, so she is pretty set up to assist your box, assist your hit if you pulled. I think one of the great things about this character is they're new enough that they have some pretty fun animations. Like these are really nice. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person who I don't want to burst anyone's bubble, but I would go as far as to say that this Kale and Caulifla actually have better animations than some 2025 characters. I'll say that. And I'm not a Kale and Caulifla person. If you're curious, I'm not really a Kale person. I'm not really a Kale or a Kefla person. She's fine. I know a lot of people are into her because she's a rare female Saiyan. Like we just haven't really gotten any of them, but the writing for Universe 6 is kind of whack, so I'm not really into it. But that said, we will be gold coining, or we will be red coining Kefla if she's dominant and strong. Like, I'll say that, because these animations are hype, bro. These animations somehow give the Golden Week characters a run for their money. Like, I don't know if that's just me. Tell me below if you've made it this far into the video. Do you think these are a little bit better than some of the Golden Week animations in a vacuum that we've gotten? Because I do. I don't know what this character came out for, but hey, man, I guess. One of the great things about this character who continues to stack attack is, if you guys aren't aware, so long as a character has some pretty solid defensive abilities, which Kale and Caulifla do not have right now, but could be given guard, could be given damage reduction, could be given this or that. You only need about 3 million-ish defense in Festival of Battles, let's say, to tank most things without like a big daddy protector unit in front of you, like Vegito, Gogeta, etc. Like, a lot of characters are just trying to get to about 3 million defense, and if this character gets a greatly stacking and gets some defensive mechanics, you're going to be able to go into this, and then you're going to be able to go into Kefla, and Kefla is going to have like a high chance of evading, maybe a defensive mechanic, maybe another defensive mechanic. Maybe they could add the orb mechanic from Super or EZA STR Kefla. But yeah, all I'm saying is a pretty solid potential character to come up here. Otherwise, And I guess we could look at that. So I think the easiest way to get this would be hit. I was gonna type, but obviously this hit and Goku are on the docket. The thing about them is that they are a little wonky in their categories, right? But they are a character people are very excited to see EZA. This character has been talked about to death. I'm excited to see them EZA because I actually rainbowed this character a year ago on some banner. I don't know. I don't remember what the banner was. Maybe it was like worldwide. Maybe it was Tanabata. Oh, maybe it was Tanabata actually, because it was a UI Goku banner. But either way, I got a billion of this character last year. So hey, you will be seeing the EZA showcase for this character if they happen to EZA. Or you'll be seeing the rainbow showcase for this character for the EZA. But yeah, so a lot of potential happening in this segment. This is a very interesting time slot. The data download should be quite illuminating. Who is the other? Oh, I guess that's it. So not too much more to really expect outright. Let's go to the 9-year and see maybe if they add more. So here again, the second usually brings a big EZA. And last year, 6 days later, we got another big EZA. So I'm thinking rather, and did we get like a big EZA after that? We got the super EZA. So what I'm thinking they could do is tomorrow or whenever they decide to do the data download, we get Kaelin Caulifla. And then we see like make or break time. Who will this 8 be? All right, this the 8th. And that could be Goku and Hit, or that could be Frieza. One reason I kind of think that we could be moving towards something other than Frieza is the next part of the video. So let me pull that up. Sadly, this site no longer is a bit deprecated, so no longer has the accurate information for Tanabata of 2024, but you know, follow me along because it's still prevalent. In exactly 2 months, essentially, we'll be getting Tanabata. You know, 29th of June is about, you know, so long away. Let me just, you know, maybe let me show them now cap in. So May 1st is right now. So about a month and, you know, 28 days. So essentially 2 months. We'll be getting that. This is important because Tanabata is very up in the air right now. One of the great things about Tanabata is that it doesn't really need to... The big time LRs are kind of the draw. So it doesn't really need to rely on exactly perfect EZAs to me, I think. So if you notice, EZA Beerus taking place in the Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Goku celebration with a Battle of Gods Goku. You know what I mean? Like, it's not perfect, right? And then here we got the big time LR here. So let's put to practice what we've been doing. So I think that DAIMA is most likely going to go to Tanabata. I think worldwide would be a little bit tough for DAIMA because it would have to fill a lot of content. And I just don't think DAIMA has that much presence in the game currently. Not that it doesn't have things to do, just that it doesn't have the presence in the game currently, right? Because of that, I would say that we're more than likely getting DAIMA for Tanabata, which means we could see this Goku this Gogeta EZA, sorry. And that would fill in one of the big EZA spots. I think Dragon Ball Seekers is another one that we'll probably see at that point, but it could essentially be anything after that. I think Gogeta will EZA for DAIMA because he just makes the most visual sense, like the clarity wise, if you know what I'm saying. And anything after that is going to be a toss-up. It's going to be like, oh, this character's on Dragon Ball Seekers, oh, this character's on Time Travelers, oh, this character's on, you know, Battle of Wits or something, and that's going to be a little sketchy. But the reason I brought up the Frieza before, as in this Frieza EZAing isn't completely on the docket, is because we then need to talk about Worldwide, which is coming right after. And Worldwide is usually, yeah, it's August. Worldwide is a pretty big, I mean, it's essentially Dokkan's half quote unquote anniversary, if you guys are familiar with other gacha games, which is to say that it is the second major anniversary in the second major celebration in a calendar year. And this one brings big EZAs. So I think that one of the reasons they could be keep holding on to the golden Friezas is because instead of blowing each of them immediately, they could put them in a Goku versus Frieza celebration, and a lot of people have been setting this up. So we have, let's say, Namek Goku and Namek Frieza here for part 1, and then 15 days pass, we get, wow, what was it called? Return of Frieza, ROF Frieza, Goku, and Vegeta, and then Golden Frieza. And what does that line up with? Hey, look at these two. The ROF Blues, the Golden Frieza. For the first one, they could do... Oh, and they could EZA this guy. For the first one, they could do this guy, of course, the Ginyu. The only issue is that there's not really another Namek Goku to pull from. What they could do is use the cooler Goku, who is obviously, I mean, in adjacency, right, to Namek Saga, but just by the very nature of the movie coming after Goku first went Super Saiyan, it is the Super Saiyan form of Goku's that is most closely related to Namek Saga, I'd imagine. I don't know if anyone would like kill me for saying that, but I would imagine so. But yeah, I think that is a big deal celebration that we could see. It is another. They could do. Oh wow, they could do cooler in this celebration as well. Try to make a genuine run at a Wicked Bloodlines team. Because when else is cooler coming back? I guess would be the question. This starts. Worldwide starts. We get. Let's say this is sub EZAs, and then let's say this is Ginyu. Ginyu, and maybe this pairing, this either the Saiyan duos with Goku and Piccolo, I guess. Yeah, we're in a really interesting spot for EZAs because everything seems really focused now, and we don't have as many of those just obvious, like GT celebration is obvious, they could just do a GT celebration. Movie celebration is obvious, they could just do a movie celebration. Cell Saga is obvious, they could just do a Cell Saga celebration. But could they really just do like Namek here? It is a little clunky. It's not to say that everything needs to be perfect, but you can see it's getting a little clunkier for Dokkan as they slip more and more of this stuff in. And I think we're going to start seeing the ability to really predict what's coming next. The ability to really just say, oh, we're getting this, oh, we're getting this, oh, we're getting this, right? The Garlic Jr. or Movies celebration seems confirmed at this point. These two characters are just lingering around. The Bojack and Gohan celebration seem confirmed at this point. It's just lingering around. I think a movie celebration in general is coming. I think that Tanabata or Worldwide capitalizing on the Namek and the return of Frieza and Namek Saga is coming. And that's probably when we'll see the cooler stuff, because that is just like the rawest form of like Wicked Bloodlines versus a Super Saiyan. But yeah. All that being said, though, is that this is just a fun little video to talk about the potential of things coming. I think that Dokkan is in a very, very fun spot for the future, even though it kind of feels like Golden Week has started off on the back foot for sure. I could never take that away. But with all that being said, like if you like the video, subscribe to the club. We all go make it, and peace.